Well, welcome back to the channel. Good afternoon from the wonderful Bangkok here in Thailand. I arrived a couple of days ago, which has been a wonderful experience just to be warm again, having come from the UK, as I'm sure you can appreciate. The weather's always dreadful there, so it's really nice. It is very warm, I think around 39 degrees, but absolutely fantastic. So the reason for this little conversation today is I, in fact, have Thai driver's license for motorbike and car, and one of them expires soon. So I'm planning to go to transport. I've never been to transport here in Bangkok, but I'm going to go today, probably today, and see what the process is for renewal. So the first time you get a license, just for a bit of advice for you, whether it's car or whether it's motorcycle, they are separate licenses here. So in the UK we have one license that has both motorbike and motor car on. In Thailand it's separate motorbike license, separate car licenses. So I have separate expiry days, and when you get your first one as a foreigner, you get 2 years. You only get a license for 2 years. When you go to renew, which is coming up for me now, I should be able to get 5 years on the next one. So that's kind of the plan for today. I will try and get some footage on the way. I'm not quite sure if we're going to drive there or we're going to take the BTS. Not 100% decided yet, because truth is I don't know where it is here in Bangkok, whereas my my other half, she knows exactly where it is. So that's the plan for today. I don't know if it'll even be interesting content, but it's just a little bit of practicalities. You know, people coming here, obviously they want to see all the great places to see, and we will be doing all of that. But there is also the fact of, you know, practicalities of living here. Many people come here to retire, semi-retire, whatever it is. And it's very, very convenient, I would say, if you are going to be here on a long-term basis, to exchange your licenses, your driver's license and motorcycle license, because first of all, you can't drive on your own local license. You have to have an international driving license in order to drive bikes and drive cars, or ride bikes rather than drive cars here. So just be aware of that, which is very simple to get in your own country. I think it's something like £5 in the UK. It's a very simple process. But if you're going longer term, it's equally a very simple process to exchange your license. It's not just to swap out. You've got to do a little bit of testing. So they want to check your color blindness, whether you know it's red, amber, green, your reaction speeds on brakes. You go through a process. You have to book. I know when it was in Pattaya, you had to book for that process, which is the original exchange. So that's why I'm saying I'm not quite sure what happens with an upgrade or a renewal. I'm not sure if we need an appointment or not, but we're going to be looking into that. So just to bear in mind, there is a process. I can't remember the fee. It was fairly nominal, as I remember last time. You know, a few hundred baht, £7 to £10, something around that figure. And I assure you, it just creates so much ease. If you get stopped in a police check or anything like that, if you show a local license, 99% of the time they're going to just push you through, because if you've got your local license, they totally understand that the system, so they kind of can't be bothered, because they can make a lot of money on fines from other foreigners who don't know what they're doing here, who don't wear helmets, who don't have the right driver's license, that sort of thing. And bear in mind, if you are hiring or renting a bike or a car, they're not going to care whether you have an international driving license, just so you know. That's entirely on you. So you can take the car, they'll still rent it to you, they'll still rent you a bike, they won't make you wear helmets, they won't make you do certain, that's up to you. And so when the police stop you and they want to see all your documentation, then you need to be aware it's on you, not the hire company. So just a word of warning for you guys. I'll try and take you through the process anyway as we go. So guys, come along. I hope you enjoy the ride, so to speak. Ha, nice one. Let's see what happens. So just a quick update. Just had a conversation. We're not quite sure if we have to book an appointment or not. So what we're going to do is going to take the motorbike. I'm going to try and take some footage on the bike. We're not going to go BTS because it's fairly close. I'm currently in an area of Udom Suk, which is on the Sukhumvit Central Road in Bangkok, but it's kind of classed as quite outside of Bangkok, although you'd never believe it. So yeah, we're going to take the bike. I want to see if I can get some footage, so fingers crossed. Right folks, we are now at the transport, so we're going to go in behind me. I don't think we can take any footage inside, but we're going to go and see what we can sort the license out, and then I will let you know how it all went. Okay, so we've come back out now from transport, and I have to say that was a bit of a ball ache. We aren't able to renew the license. So where I said that you could get a 5-year, that's only if your visa is like a retirement visa or a work visa, something like that. If you're here on a tourist visa, so the way I do it is I would come for 3 months, up to 3 months on a tourist visa, and then change my visa to something more permanent. So if they see you on a tourist visa, they will only renew it for 2 years. Plus, you've got to get some silly form that you would only get if you're here in a hotel or staying in a condo, but I actually have my own condo here, and therefore I can't get this form, which is quite ridiculous. As when I said it was easy, I got it entirely wrong. It's an absolute ball ache. So now we're going to try. I mean, the silly thing is they booked me in for a license renewal even knowing I don't have the right documents, so I just find that completely futile. So I don't know what the answer is at the moment. My sort of long-term answer is I just don't renew it on this trip, and then when I come back again, sort of pursue it with a bit more vigor, because I should be able to get that document from someone in Pattaya when I move there. So yeah, that's the update. Pretty crap, to be honest with you, but there you go. Folks, so just got back now from transport to try and do the renewal of my driver's license. Now, by all accounts, I should be entitled to now a 5-year license. You get 2 years in the first instance, then 5 years the second time. However, that isn't actually the case, because it's completely dependent on what visa you have. This current trip, I'm just coming on a tourist visa, and they have decided I cannot have a 5-year, I can have a 2-year. That's not the only bit. You can't just walk in and get a renewal. You have to book. I mean, at the moment, I don't know what the date is, but it's over, gosh, almost 2 weeks, just short of 2 weeks wait before you can go in. You then have to have I think it's called a TM30, which is essentially wherever you're staying, the landlord hotel has to produce a TM30 to immigration as proof of where you're staying. So you have to get that. If you haven't got that and you want to get it's basically a document proving where you're staying, and that costs, if I remember correctly, about 300 baht just for one piece of paper. And I will advise you as well, you need to get photographs for that document, otherwise they'll just charge you there, and you can get them relatively cheaply anyway. One thing I would say in terms of Bangkok as a center, this is my second dealing with the bureaucracy of Bangkok. The first time was on a visa update, a 90-day reporting, and this one is just to get the license. I would strongly suggest, if at all possible, that you probably use regional offices, because honestly, Bangkok is just not very easy. I remember just getting my 90-day reporting a few months ago, and it was just shocking. I was there for hours. Whereas someone like, I can speak for Pattaya, when you're doing a 90-day reporting, you literally walk in, put your passport in a little box, and then go and have yourself a breakfast, and come back 1 hour later, everything's stamped, signed, lovely, off you go. I also had good experiences in the transport department in Pattaya, just outside of Pattaya. So yeah, my current plan is not to renew while I'm here this time, because I will be back soon, and when I come back I'll get all the relevant documents. So they will give you something like this form once you go to try, and I think it's just for renewal. You have to do what it says. This is the process, okay? You've got to do an e-learning course. I don't know if that's for re-registration or not. No, this is just what the paper says. You have to register, select your identity document, enter personal information, and watch a training video to last 1 hour. And then you have to print the training results. Now, as I say, I'm not sure if that applies to a renewal. I know it applies to getting a new license, and I get that, so I'm not sure. What they have also checked, that this document here is where they booked your date, which, although I've got a date booked, I'm not going because it's a pointless exercise, and I'm only here for a short time, and I don't want to lose a whole day in a set of bureaucracy, so I'm not doing it. But they actually scratched out the 5-year, because it is here as an option, and they've just ticked only 2 years because of my tourist visa, which is frustrating. But anyway, you also see here, and I'm not sure if this is relevant to now, there is some Thai writing on it. I think you may need a medical certificate, which I had to get when I did my first one. That is very, very simple. It costs a small amount. You just go to a local doctor, or you can go to the local hospital, and they'll just check a few things, you know, your vitals, your blood pressure, that kind of thing. I can't remember the price, not a lot, a couple $100 baht. Then you get this medical certificate, you take that there. The big one here is the address certificate in Thailand, and that has to come from immigration. Now, in my case, I don't have that because I'm only here for a short time. Although technically I should. However, this is a condo I rent myself, so I would have got that last year. But in this particular case, I don't. It would just be an absolute pain in the old posterior to go and just get this thing and queue up. And I mean, especially in Bangkok, I think it took 4 or 5 hours last time. It was ridiculous. Oh, and when lunchtime strikes in Thailand, they go on lunch. Whether you're in the queue or not, they'll chuck you out and they're on lunch. So don't even think about going leading up to lunchtime. Maybe after lunch or earlier in the morning. That's strong advice. There is no, oh, you're in the queue, we'll still serve you. That is not happening in Thailand, trust me. So just be careful on the times that you decide to go. So end result is you will also need on your passport, you need to, I'm not going to show you this because it's my passport, you need to basically print the front end, which gives you your name, details, date of birth, all that sort of stuff. You have to get a photocopy of that, and you must also produce a photocopy of, I can show you this, of your immigration stamp. So what they've provided for you as an immigration stamp, that's how they obviously determine that I'm on an O visa, which is just tourist. This is a TL60 it's called. So you need to have a copy of those 2 documents from your passport just to prove you are who you are, or you say you are. And I think it's somewhere, in price wise, I couldn't get an exact figure, but somewhere between 300 and 500 baht. So roughly, as I said earlier, I think £7 to £10, thereabouts. And then, yeah, then you get another 2 years of freedom. In my case, I was looking forward to 5, but that's not going to be happening for me. So, guys, that's just a little rundown on if you were going to renew your license. It seems extremely similar to getting your new license. I don't see anything here though. Well, I think I mentioned in the previous video where you have to go and do red, amber, green, color blindness and speed test on braking and stuff. I don't think that is required for renewal. It doesn't appear to be from what I can see anyway. So guys, I hope that's helpful to you. If you do want to ask any questions, please put some stuff in the comments, and it would really be good if we could if you could subscribe and put on notifications, because we're going to try and produce a lot more content coming up. And spread the word, share the videos. We really want to try and grow this channel. So far we've grown okay, but you know, it'd be good to get where we want to be. We can only do that with your guys' help. But please put comments if there's anything you want to ask. You know, I'm quite happy to help. People are coming over with what sort of basic processes are, because I've been through all the different processes for visas, for, you know, driver's licenses, for residences, that kind of thing. So happy to help if I can. We'll probably do more content on that in a couple of months' time. I'll be going through that whole process of a new place to stay. So we'll look at the process there and getting the TM30 from the landlord, and then from that TM30 you go to immigration, and then they give you a proof of address. So it's just, the country is driven by bureaucracy, so you've got to be patient and just go with the flow. It's just how it is. What I have learned is the separation between, I can speak for 2 places, between Bangkok and Pattaya. Pattaya far easier than it is in Bangkok, and I would suggest on that basis then probably a lot of regional offices are a lot better than Bangkok. So guys, any questions, please just ask. Please keep supporting us, and I look forward to talking to you on the next one.